It all began in 2019. That day, Nigeria's social media exploded. The young actress Regina Daniels, barely 19, had just married Ned Nwoko, a politician and businessman of 59. A 40-year age gap, a polygamous marriage, and a traditional ceremony without a white dress or a church, enough to set the entire country abuzz. Images of the wedding flooded the internet. Regina appeared in a golden wrapper, smiling but slightly hesitant, standing beside a confident man. Around them were traditional chiefs, local dignitaries, and a curious crowd. There was no Hollywood glamour, only the solemn weight of the Antioch North Customs, the region where Ned comes from and where he is regarded as a pillar of the community. For the elders, the union symbolized prosperity and the continuity of a lineage. But for many others, it marked the loss of a young woman's innocence. At that time, Regina was at the peak of her fame, a child prodigy of Nollywood who had grown up under the spotlight. But behind the brilliance of her career stood a humble family, a devoted mother and a discreet, deeply Christian father. Her father vehemently opposed the marriage. He believed his daughter deserved to live her youth before binding herself to a man already married 5 times. To him, the union's age gap and polygamy represented a sacrifice of freedom. Her mother, Regina Daniels, also an actress, saw things differently. She considered Ned a blessing, a man who could offer stability, prestige, and security to her daughter. Between love and reason, faith and the promise of wealth, the father's voice was eventually silenced. The wedding took place according to ancient customs. The night before the ceremony, a traditional priest from Ned's village was invited to bless their union. Some witnesses later claimed that during that night, Ned reminded everyone of a condition he had always held sacred. He would only marry virgins, symbols of purity and respect in his lineage's tradition. The requirement surprised a few guests, but Regina accepted without protest, believing it to be a harmless cultural ritual. The first few weeks felt like a dream. She was seen traveling on private jets, posing in luxurious homes in Abuja and Dubai, showering her mother with expensive gifts. On social media, she flaunted her happiness. "My husband is my best friend, my mentor, my king," she wrote in a post that went viral. "Ned replied proudly, I am honored to have married such a pure and disciplined woman." But behind those seemingly tender words, many already sensed an imbalance. Regina became the 6th wife of a powerful statesman. She soon realized this new world had its own rules. Every gesture was watched, every outing commented on, every word measured. Ned, charismatic in public, was demanding in private. He wanted to know everything, where she went, with whom, and when she would return. He encouraged her to cut back on film shoots and focus instead on her home and her image as a respectable lady. At first, Regina mistook this for protection. But over the months, that attention turned into control. Slowly, the vibrant actress faded behind the role of the dutiful wife. Her TV appearances became rare. Her interviews, shorter and more cautious. She still smiled, but her eyes looked tired, as though searching for something they could no longer find. At that moment, no one yet suspected that behind the marble walls and perfect smiles lay a much darker truth. One that, according to close sources, went far beyond marriage itself. To uncover it, one must go back to that night when everything was allegedly sealed. The night of the ritual no one dares to speak about openly. Over time, the fairy tale began to crack. Nothing appeared wrong on the surface, but within their circle, whispers spread. People spoke of a secret ritual said to have taken place on the wedding day itself, after the public ceremony, hidden from sight. That night, after the songs and dances, only a few initiates were invited into a small room lit by oil lamps. According to discreet witnesses, Ned recited an ancient vow, passed down through generations of his bloodline, a vow of eternal fidelity. The principle was simple and chilling. If Ned were to die before his wife, Regina would never be allowed to belong to another man. The pact, they said, would bind their souls forever. No one knows if the young actress truly understood the weight of those words. It is said that she simply nodded, repeating the phrases the priest whispered to her, surrounded by her mother and a few elders. For some, it was only a symbolic blessing. For others, it was a genuine spiritual pact. In some regions of Nigeria, such vows still exist. They are meant to protect the union and ensure the family's prosperity. But those who dare to break them are believed to invite curses and misfortune upon themselves. The rumors grew stronger over the years. Close associates of Ned claimed he deeply believed in the link between purity and power. He often said that a woman's virginity strengthened the spiritual blessing of a marriage. That, people whispered, was why he only married young and untouched women. To him, it was tradition, but to others, it was an obsession. Regina gradually withdrew from the outside world. She spoke rarely, appeared less on set, and avoided public events. Her Instagram remained active, but her posts turned strangely neutral. Perfect family photos, frozen smiles, and Bible verses. Nothing more. A close friend later confided, Regina didn't laugh like before. She said everything she had came from God and her husband, but she never said what she wanted. Then, another rumor emerged. People began whispering about a secret women's society, a closed circle reserved for the wives of powerful men. A spiritual and elite group bound by three absolute rules: loyalty, silence, and submission. According to some sources, Regina was initiated shortly after her wedding. The women in this circle were forbidden to reveal its secrets or challenge their husbands. Those who tried reportedly vanished from public life or suffered mysterious accidents. Nothing was ever confirmed, yet none of the wives involved ever denied it publicly. As the rumor spread, the public became divided. Some saw Regina as a blessed woman, honored and protected by tradition. Others saw her life as a gilded cage, a world under control. And as years passed, the gap between her image and her reality deepened. In the few videos where she appeared, her gaze seemed empty, as if she had learned to smile without feeling. Behind the scenes of Nollywood, whispers grew louder that the actress had signed not just a marriage contract, but a spiritual covenant, one that bound her to something greater and darker. No one has ever seen that secret, but everyone feels it. And it was that same secret that would resurface years later, one October night, when a video sent shockwaves through Nigeria. Friday, October 17th, 2025. Abuja, the federal capital of Nigeria, seemed peaceful. In Ned Nwoko's vast mansion, the servants went about their usual routines. According to custom, Regina was spending the week in the main residence, the one reserved for the youngest wives. Nothing suggested that this night would become a turning point. According to several witnesses, she had gone out earlier that evening with her brother and a close friend to attend a private party. When she returned late that night, something had changed. Her husband was waiting in the grand living room. Guards reported that she appeared nervous, trembling, her voice shaking. Words flew. Accusations followed, then shouts. Servants claimed they heard heavy thuds, angry voices, and then a chilling silence. Moments later, a scream pierced the air. Hours after, a video appeared online. In the footage, Regina Daniels is seen with swollen eyes, trembling, leaning against her mother, Regina Daniels. She sobs and repeats in a broken voice, "Look at me, Mom. I cannot stand the violence. It's too much." Her pain is raw, no makeup, no pretense. Her eyes tell the story of a woman who has reached her limit. Within hours, the video went viral. WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, Nigeria was in shock. How could a beloved star appear so broken? Some accused Ned Nwoko of violence. Others claimed Regina had suffered a nervous breakdown after an argument. But in every version, one word echoed: fear. Under public pressure, Ned issued a statement denying all allegations of abuse. He called it family disagreements exaggerated by social media. Hours later, another statement followed, more detailed this time. He mentioned his wife's psychological distress, dependency, and bad influences. It was a version that pleased state-aligned media, but many found it too calculated. Two narratives emerged. One of a man trying to protect his reputation. The other of a woman trapped in a world where money silences truth. Since that night, the couple has vanished from public view. Their photos together have disappeared from social media. Some claim Regina now lives alone in another guarded residence. Others say she once tried to leave, but changed her mind. aware of her husband's immense political and financial power. Behind closed doors, whispers continue. Friends say she prays often, speaks little, and seems elsewhere. One confidant reportedly quoted her saying, "I don't know if I live with a man or with fate." That sentence says it all. For many, Regina Daniels is no longer just an actress. She has become the symbol of a generation fascinated by luxury and power, yet blind to the price they demand. The fairy tale has turned into a gilded prison. Behind the smiles lies one truth, that of a young woman who has known everything: fame, wealth, adoration, except freedom. And in the silence surrounding the Nwoko estate, people still whisper that the pact, the one made that night, sealed by words and ritual, has never been broken. It still binds her, invisible but very real.